Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Classic Engineering part number 80901. This is a 2 1/8 inch multi-spur bit used for drilling locks outdoors. This is a spur bit is what it's called, a spur bit because of the shape and orientation of the cutting teeth. This bit also features this flat-ended cutting edge for bottoming and clearing out the hole as you go through the door, scoring the exterior with your spurs, and then cleaning out the balance. Makes for an efficient way to drill that 2 1/8 inch hole. Okay. This is going to feature a self-feeding threaded point on the end. It's hard to see it below the wax that's on there to cover the newly manufactured tool. When the client gets this, they'll peel off that wax to reveal the pristine brand new cutting edges. So when you mark your hole and you put your point there, give the drill just a little bit and that bit's going to start to thread itself in. That's nice because you want to be able to have the self-feeding feature so that you're not trying to get this pushed into the door without the bit already being in position. So that's a nice reason for that self-feeding bit. A spur bit like this is, though, however, one that I'm not necessarily a fan of, only because I would end up using different tools for doing preps in a door, like, you know, routing a hole for the door with more sophisticated equipment like CNC equipment. Even if I was doing it in the field, I would probably not opt for a spur bit, even though I'm very much in the minority when it comes to that. I would use a 2 1/8 inch hole bit. I find that these tools, while very effective, also are in the hands of someone who has some experience. A hole saw for me creates less dust and debris. This bit's going to go in there and just rip that door through, and it'll make a clean and decent hole, certainly appropriate for a lock installation. But if you're doing it over carpeting, it's going to get everywhere is the bottom line. I prefer hole saws, even though hole saws are by no means the best way to go about doing it, because you can really only get half of the door drilled before you must pull it out and remove the core from the hole saw. However, I seem to get a cleaner edge. That's the other concern that I have over spur bits, is when you attack the face of the door, these spurs are just going to bite and start tearing, and heaven forbid it be a type of door where you don't get a clean start on the bit, like maybe oak. You don't want to flare that veneer out terribly. If you're drilling the door for yourself and you have experience with the tool, it's not a big deal. But in my experience of being a distributor of doors, meaning a client is going to come and receive the door, there is an aspect of visual presentation before the hardware is installed. So spur bits to me aren't my favorite tool of choice, and it's probably also because I'm not very good at using them. I'm going to prefer a router where I will get a pristine, clean hole, one that I know that I will be able to, not have any second guessing over it. You want to be able to approach that bit right down to the face of the door and get it started. If you're new to spur bits, test, experiment, practice first before you run one into a nice walnut door is the bottom line. The name Classic Engineering now is synonymous with tools for prepping, doing lock preps. Before we get to that, the overall length of this, about 7 inch, okay? And it is a 2 1/8 inch size. They have other sizes available. The other or next common one would be 1.5 inches, like you might find on some deadbolts. Now, finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Classic Engineering products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website. You will see when you're reviewing that how deep they get into all of the different templates, lock boring toolkits that are available. And if you're a building engineer, if you're a landlord, a handyman, a carpenter, quite frankly, it's just a matter of time before you are encountering lock installation work. And having a tool that's going to incorporate all of the pieces that you need, not only for accurately marking the hole location in terms of backside and diameter, but marking the edge of the door so that you can chisel out for the latch bolt, marking the frame itself for a common strike plate. all that is very common stuff that you're going to encounter in those sorts of fields. And classic engineering can help with all of that. If you have any questions on the classic engineering, 80901 2.1/8 inch multi-spur bit, Spur Bit, or any other classic engineering product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.